Hello everybody, this is part 3 of my story. I've been captured in the psych ward, or captured in the psych ward, part 3. You see, with George and Martin and Tommy kept under lock and key in tight security, Brad and Anne were still fighting over what to watch on TV, and for most of the time there was nobody there to stop them. And Anne, who was mighty big, got a fist and slammed it into Brad right in the groin and started to add pains to his stomach. And then Jamie came out and the nurses said, "Jamie, we're here as your medication." And Jamie asked, "Do you know when Ron is here? So I can go home. I really hate it here. I think I learnt my lesson." And the nurse said, "I don't know, Jamie. You need to be monitored for a while to make sure you are well. Is that all right?" And Jamie said, "Okay, but these pedos, they're driving me crazy. I'm having weird dreams. I can't stay here." And that was true. And the nurse said, "Okay, as soon as Ron clocks in, I will have him check you out. And Patty asked the nurse, "When will I be able to make my speech?" And the nurse said, "What speech?" And Patty said, "My speech to the people of America, for I am President George Washington." And the nurse said, "No, Mr. Washington, you ain't the president no more. It is 2014. Obama is now the president." And Patty said, "You mean my wish came true? America finally got a black president?" And then Patty said, "Can you let me out so I can buy a plane ticket to Washington to meet this President Obama?" And the nurse said, "I am just leaving now, and I will give you what you need." And Patty waited there for 5 minutes and saw the nurses talking forever. He would seem, and he yelled out, "Come on, oh come on! I have to meet the first black." And in 5, the nurse came out with his medication and said, "Have a lie down. You need to rest. You are helping us if you rest." And Patty said, "I must get to Washington to meet Obama. I am George Washington." And the nurse said, "Well, I want to meet Denzel Washington. But one can only dream, buddy. Just have a lie down." Patty yelled out, "Would you please shut up? I need to get to the United States. You see, the country I created is being torn into turmoil. Please fucking save me, you cunt." And Big Ann came out and to Patty and said, "Even if you are George Washington, you ain't president no more. And buddy, you have no special privileges. You suck it up, you see." Anne said, "I want to be Kylie Minogue or even Marilyn Monroe. But I would like to say that I actually dreamt up Kylie Minogue, and that is why she doesn't come back to Neighbours as Charlene. I really hate that show." And then in came Ron Cooper after he just clocked on and went to give medication to Tommy, George and Martin. And that for Ron was like feeding time at the zoo. It's crazy, but it's cool. And then went to give medications to Kate and Susan. And they were fine. And then the daily dosages of medication to Brad and Anne. And the nurses said that Patty was whinging that he wanted to visit the States to see Obama. So I gave him the pills. And I gave Jamie the pills to calm him down. But Ron, he really doesn't want to be here, you know. How is the bed looking at IVU going? No, he needs to talk. He's having nightmares about those child molesters." And Anne said, "Why are you doctors so bloody nice? They aren't molesters. Molesters are adult figures. They are pedophiles. You know, cock-sucking, scum-sucking, stupid, dickhead pedophiles." Then get them out and burn them to the stake. You see, witches are bad to kids too. And Ron said, okay, I will see what I will do. And that was mainly to the nurse. Never to the people who are poor. It's always to themselves. And Anne said, yeah, right. And had a talk to Jamie. And then tried to get a bed. In the meantime, Connor Stevenson, who was hearing voices saying, kill himself, must kill, must kill, must kill. And yes, man, got that bed in the IVU. And yes, Jamie had to wait. And Ron assured Jamie that he will be looked after and demanded that a nurse or security guard stands outside his door when he sleeps. And I want round-the-clock care for Jamie. You see, Connor looked in a bad way. I will see what we can do about that tomorrow. Anne ran up and down the HDU with a TV remote saying, you nurses are scum. You should be shot. I want to kill you all. And if I had something sharper than a remote, I will kill you. And when a nurse came out and to calm Anne down, she punched the nurse in the gut and went into the office to look for either the keys out of there or a knife to kill one idiotic person a day. And she was crazy enough to do both. But she was captured by Ron, who jabbed her with Valium and then put her in the crazy zone. And when Anne came, when Anne went back to HDU, she told everyone that if you ever escape that way, you'll end up in the crazy zone. And Jamie said to Anne, why the fuck do you want to spoil any chance of getting out? You see, I watch episodes of Prisoner on YouTube, and even if they escape, they never remain escaped. And another thing too, playing by the rules is better. But Anne said, Jamie isn't right. He's just naive. But he is so unaware of what this place is really like. And Ron was told that there is a bed at the IVU, which is ready for Jamie now. And Jamie was happy, but instead of being told to enjoy his little trip to the IVU, Anne and Brad and Susan said, piss off, you little picture-perfect kid. And Connor was transported to HDU because his problems were worse than Ron thought. And Ron sat in HDU and had a long talk to Anne about what she was doing was wrong. And she said, yeah, it's wrong, but I had a lot of fun. But one day I will escape. I bloody will. And Ron said, well, you obviously haven't got manners, have you? And Anne said, I lost manners years ago. You see, I will hassle you forever. And Ron clocked off and went home. And went out to dinner with his daughter, Sue. And after a great dinner, went home and watched 30 Rock. And then he went to bed, ready for work the next day. You see, that was a great way. Part 3 of Captured in the Psych Ward. Just imagine all the problems you actually can have in the psych ward. And there actually are some of the problems. You don't actually see a happy atmosphere. Like, I have a happy atmosphere if I don't go there. But if you go to the psych ward, you've got to expect to have action aplenty like that. And it's going to have a heap more too. So I'm planning to do a few more, a whole heap of episodes. There's a heap of gunk in that brain, mate. Okay? Catch ya.